They want to bury the truth in all this noise. But that's why we're here. We are the guardians of the truth.
Yo, Jamaica! Another voice note leaked. This time, PNP NEC members were caught discussing how to package a corruption label against Major General Antony Anderson. Even though they admitted it wouldn't stick because he has an unblemished record. Let's check the receipts.
A member of the PNP's powerful National Executive Committee, NEC, is suggesting that the corruption card can't be drawn against Chief Executive Officer of the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NaRRA, Major General Antony Anderson. The comment was made in a PNP WhatsApp group around the time General Anderson was named as the NaRRA boss in late May this year. The PNP appeared to be discussing what points to use to attack the government's implementation of NaRRA. It was suggested that casting General Anderson as a facilitator of corruption would not fly with the public given his record in public service.
Maria, the concern I'm raising is this, that Anderson's track record is not one full of blemish that it will be so easy to attach certain things to him. The corruption argument not going to be attached to him so easily, right? In my humble opinion, I think they've outsmarted us and then putting this man now to be a CEO and whatever. Reality is we need to ensure that the average Jamaican is saying we don't care who he is and could have full of integrity like wow.
Me Pickney, the voice note was from a private PNP NEC group. A member suggested that the corruption card couldn't be drawn against Anderson because of his record.
Could have been whatever. He's the man who sought out all of the hurricane relief that got it to Jamaica, whether we know it or not.
But then they discussed how to package a campaign so anyone leading NaRRA would be seen as corrupt. This is sabotage, plain and simple.
I would love for us to be able to put that information together, package it for the ground so that the average Jamaican can get that information.
Let that sink in. They admitted the corruption label wouldn't stick because Ander has an unblemished record, but they still discussed how to package a campaign to destroy his reputation. This is a fifth column, sabotaging Jamaica. You've heard the term fifth column thrown around in politics, but what does it actually mean? And why is it dangerous to our democracy? Let's check the receipts.
Me Pickney, a fifth column is a group of people who undermine a country from within, acting as a secret enemy. They don't use violence, they use propaganda, delays, and manufactured narratives to destabilize.
And remember the first leaked voice note? In February 2025, Campbell was heard explaining that KSAMC funds were strategically distributed for by-elections. One caretaker got $300,000 and asked why others got more. Fitz-Henley called it organized criminality.
This is the pattern. On the same day the PNP complained about the pace of recovery, Mr. Golding called for a joint select committee, which would have delayed everything. Senator Morgan said they lament the pace in the morning, and by mid-afternoon they call for delay.
Another PNP NEC member told colleagues that the ruling JLP saw NaRRA's successful implementation as their ticket to a fourth term in office. He said the PNP had to play the right kind of ball game in light of NaRRA's political importance.
Bear in mind that the NaRRA bill is what the JLP sees as its glory and its savior for a fourth term and a fifth term or whatever. Speaking to some of them recently, some of the operatives, they see NaRRA as their way out to get back in tune with the Jamaican public, because they know them in a bad state, the public itself, with the cost of living and everything. So they see NaRRA as a saving grace, and they are going to do everything in their power to try to get whatever done, which means bypassing like our parish council, which, you know, probably would do delay tactics and don't get this, which is why they did it that way. But safety standards and these things is a concern. So, well, let's play our ball game of politics.
A member of the PNP's powerful National Executive Committee.
NaRRA was created to rebuild Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa. It has the largest public works budget in our history. The government says it will cut bureaucracy, speed up recovery, and rebuild communities. The PNP has consistently opposed it.
Now there are legitimate concerns. 28 civil society groups, 2 church groups, and even JLP Malahu Forte raised questions about concentrated power. But the PNP's approach is different. They admitted their goal was to package a corruption label. not to improve the bill.
This is a classic propaganda pattern: simplification, reducing complex legislation to emotional slogans, exaggeration, framing policy disagreements as national emergencies, orchestration, coordinated messaging across press conferences, social media, and activists. And now we have proof of intent.
A former top security official was appointed to lead NaRRA agency, Mr. Anderson. His previous roles include police commissioner and senior diplomatic post overseas.
He has over 40 years of service to Jamaica. The opposition response? Question whether he applied for the job.
The Prime Minister said the process was extensive. 85 applicants for CEO, 7 shortlisted, 3 Jamaicans, 4 from overseas. The panel included the Public Service Commission chairman and the Cabinet Secretary. Holness said, "I kept a distance for good reason."
But the PNP asked, did he apply? They called him a loyal military or policing technocrat and said his appointment was a symptom of governance problems. Fitz-Henley responded, the PNP's attempt to cast aspersions upon his preparedness to serve is most unbecoming.
Some have also raised the question of whether Anderson is related to the Prime Minister. The government has not confirmed or denied this. But the real question remains, does he have the qualifications to do the job? And the answer is clearly yes.
Here's the context. Hurricane Melissa accounted for 56% of GDP. At normal pace, it would take 25 years to rebuild.
CEO of the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, NaRRA, Major General Antony Anderson, says his deliberations with Black River residents during a tour over the weekend are the first of a number of planned engagements as the parish rebuilding plans continue to be finalized. General Anderson toured sections of St. Elizabeth on Friday.
It's important from a NaRRA perspective, one, that we have this first contact. That's kind of informal, but it also gives a chance for people to speak freely about what they think, what they feel, what they would like to see, what are their solutions. And it's interesting, you know, we have elderly people in the community who can tell you 30 years ago things were different and so on. But we also have to impress on people that we have to go with the science, we have to look at what's happening in climate events, we have to bring engineers in to look at what's possible and how best we can put all of this together. NaRRA's promise is to build back better, stronger, more resilient. And so it was a really good visit and important that we start. This is just the first meeting. There have been many more here, including formal town hall.
Black River was one of the worst hit parish capitals by last year's Category 5 Hurricane Melissa.
Jamaica cannot afford delay, and it certainly cannot afford political sabotage disguised as oversight.
When you hear power grab and threat to democracy, ask, where is the evidence? When you see coordinated attacks on a man with an unblemished record, ask, who benefits from destroying his reputation? A lie don't get old, it just get bigger. Check the receipts.
The truth? The leaked voice note trusted in sabotaging Jamaica than rebuilding it. They admitted the corruption label wouldn't stick, but they planned to package it anyway.
Hold all sides accountable. Demand transparency. But don't be fooled by political theater. Jamaica must rise.
Check before you share.
Go in peace, me pickney. Protect the truth.
Me out. Share this, not the garbage.
Check before you share.
Maria, the concern I'm raising is this, that
First of all, she identifies the male. Listen again.
Maria, the concern I'm raising is
Mario. Who is Mario? Mario, she says. So we know the male she's speaking with is Mario. Continue.
That Anderson's track record is not one full of blemish that it will be so easy to attach certain things to him. The corruption argument not going to be attached to him so easily, right? In my humble opinion, I think they've outsmarted us and then put in this man now to be a CEO and whatever. Reality is we need to ensure that the average Jamaican is saying we don't care who he is. He could have full of integrity like, wow, he could have been
You hear that? She admits, acknowledges that General Anderson's record is clean. It's going to be difficult for them to tag him, to nasty him up with a corruption charge or card. Now, that speaks to the character of that woman. For party political advantage, she's prepared to dirty up Major General Anderson. For no other reason but in pursuit of political power. You don't do that, ma'am. You don't do that. That is just despicable and wrong. And when you listen to this voice note that was clearly leaked by a member of that WhatsApp group, that PNP WhatsApp group, remember the context. Hurricane Melissa destroyed Western Jamaica on October 28 last year. It not only destroyed the lives of thousands of Jamaicans, it left over, 12 billion US dollars in damage to Jamaica. Lives were lost. Up until now, some people still don't have a roof over their head. Jamaicans are suffering. And NaRRA was set up to lead the reconstruction effort. This is a national effort. One of the biggest challenges we have faced in our post-independent period for the last 60 odd years. This is about Jamaica. This is about Jamaica and the Jamaicans who are suffering. And this woman, whoever she is, I don't know her. I hear names. I don't know. Whoever she is, she's a Jamaican. She has risen to the position of being a member of the opposition, the alternative government executive. Whoever she is, and she is now betraying here a total disregard for the national effort for what? Power. Power. And she's prepared to trample on whoever stands between her and her narrow partisan pursuit of power. That attitude, I say to my Jamaicans this morning, whether it come from the left, the right, the green or the orange, we must say hell no. Hell no, and chase those people out of town. This is Jamaica on the line. Every one of us should want NaRRA to succeed and Major General Anderson to succeed. The politics can come after. Yes. And you listen to her. She's prepared to hoodwink. Yeah? To lie to the average Jamaican. That does not matter for her. She's not going to allow Anderson's unblemished record to stop her from destroying his character and reputation because she has one objective. Jamaica must not succeed. NaRRA must not succeed. What kind of politics is this? What kind of politics is this? It is not in anybody's interest for NaRRA to fail, for Jamaica to fail. And coming from a member of the National Executive Committee of the People's National Party, Mark Golding, the opposition leader. If you didn't know of this, now you know of it. Now listen to the man, Mario. Who is Mario? Go ahead.
Bear in mind that the NaRRA bill is what the JLP sees as its glory and its savior for a fourth term and a fifth term and whatever. Speaking to some of them recently, some of the operatives, they see NaRRA as their way out to get back in tune with the Jamaican public, because they know them in a bad state, the public itself, with the cost of living and everything. So they see NaRRA as a saving grace, and they are going to do everything in their power to try to get whatever done, which means bypassing like our parish council, which, you know, probably would do delay tactics and don't get it, which is why they did it that way. But
so Mario is putting in crystal clear terms the political imperative that NaRRA must not be allowed to succeed, because this is the JLP's ticket to a fourth term and possible fifth term. And on that basis, they must do everything possible to retard its progress. He says delaying tactics. So all of the questions, some of which were very valid, and concerns about NaRRA and the oversight suggestions about governing NaRRA, all of that was just a show, because the real objective was to kill NaRRA so that NaRRA does not succeed.
Communities like Aparity have not yet recovered and are in need of a clear, coordinated reconstruction effort that prioritizes speed and efficiency while operating in a transparent framework. That is NaRRA. Madam Speaker, the bill which seeks to establish the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority is conducting not a routine rebuilding exercise. It's a national recovery effort that spans housing, infrastructure, livelihoods, and economic activity, all of which are interconnected and require a level of coordination that goes beyond the capacity of any single agency operating in isolation.